Although you may not be able to see it yet, someone close to you is aware that a storm is brewing just beneath the surface. They are attempting to draw your attention by issuing a crucial warning. Someone with a name that starts with the letter R has caught their attention, and it's more than simply a gut instinct or suspicion. Your life may be impacted by this individual in ways you haven't yet considered. The lesson is very clear. Use caution. This individual is more complex than you may think, and if you're not careful, their behavior might get you into problems. This R individual may already be familiar to you. Perhaps a friend, a student, or a co-worker comes to mind. Or you may be perplexed and mentally looking for somebody with a name that begins with the letter R. Whoever it is, we need to investigate more. Pay attention to the warning indicators. You'll have a greater chance of protecting yourself from any impending risk if you know the facts now. But why now, and why this warning? You may not always notice things that others around you do. They can pick up on small things, such as an unusual tone of voice, a peculiar expression, or the way someone behaves when they believe you are not looking. This other person has been listening intently while you're busy going about your business, not really understanding what's going on. They are concerned about what they have witnessed. This goes beyond simply being afraid or exaggerating the situation. Real facts, things that R has said or done that don't look right, are the basis for the warning. There's something wrong with this person, and it's your responsibility to investigate more. Don't dismiss it or assume you're being overly cautious. Pay attention to what your friend has to say. Consider this person's role in your life from a distance. Consider the reasons for their actions. Are they telling you the truth? Do they act in accordance with what they say? If something doesn't seem right, follow your gut. You'll be more protected from any problems they may cause the sooner you realize the reality. It's possible that you were only seeing the best in this individual whose name starts with the letter R. They may be a friend, co-worker, or even someone you're crushing on. Their warm words or smile may give you a sense of security and trust. However, we occasionally overlook the small warning indicators that are there in front of us when we give them the benefit of the doubt. There's someone close to you who sees these symptoms, and they're scared. They are attempting to enlighten you before it's too late because they know something that you do not. The person is warning you may have observed R's behavior when you're not there. They could have heard secrets being said behind your back or recognized anything odd about R's communication style. They are reaching out to you now in the hopes that you will pay attention before those minor flaws in this person's tale become a larger issue because they see the hidden side that you might have overlooked. Their warning is crucial right now, not only a recommendation. They are attempting to warn you that there is not much time left and that a terrible incident may occur at any moment. You must be alert and prepared to respond quickly, regardless of whether R is concealing a plot, betraying you, or destroying an opportunity for you. Now is the moment to act, to pause and listen, to have faith in the person watching out for you, and not to wait and see. Don't disregard your instincts as you begin to consider R's identity. Observe the hints that may have been in your line of sight the entire time. Consider whether their words and deeds are consistent, whether their smiles are genuine, or whether anything seems off. In actuality, you are being offered an opportunity to defend yourself before something goes wrong. You may already have a gut instinct about this individual. Perhaps you're pondering who it might be by considering all the people whose names begin with the letter R. Remember that occasionally the people closest to us have secrets they don't want us to know, even if you know them well. It's difficult to accept, but sometimes the people we trust the most cause us the greatest pain. Let's examine this R person's potential identity and the reasons behind the warning. Those who pose as our friends are frequently the most harmful. They give you a grin, listen to your issues, and give you the impression that they are rooting for you. However, they may not have such good intentions in the back of their minds. Someone you've known for a long time who is aware of all your secrets and what brings you joy or sorrow may be this R person. They know a lot about your life since they've been so close. But what if they're trying to sabotage your goals or speaking hurtful things about you behind your back? Perhaps they desire something you have or are envious of your accomplishment. On the inside, they can be just considering themselves, even if they may appear to be on your side. Consider this. Have you seen any recent changes in this R person's behavior? Perhaps they have been overly curious about your situation. They may pop up out of the blue or ask a lot of questions. Has their attitude abruptly changed? Or have they been saying odd things? It can be a warning sign if they appear to be trying to get into areas of your life where they don't belong. These can indicate that their friendship isn't as genuine as it first appears to be. You have strong intuition. Don't disregard your suspicions if something about this individual seems strange. Observe their behavior when you have success. Do they appear content, or do you detect a tinge of forced speech and phony smiles? Have faith in your gut instincts when you sense something is off. Sometimes people's actual nature comes out in the way they treat us when they believe no one is looking. Now is your chance to take a closer look and learn more about this R person's true nature. Seeing the reality isn't always simple, particularly when we want to think the best of someone. But there's a reason you're being warned. You have the ability to recognize the issue and take action to prevent harm. Competition in the workplace can occasionally lead to dishonest behavior. This individual, whose name begins with R, may be your supervisor, a business partner, or a coworker you see on a daily basis at work. In meetings, they may be kind, complimenting you and seeming to agree with your viewpoints, yet behind your back, they may be acting quite differently. They may be disseminating false information, distorting your statements, or preventing others from seeing your actual worth. They may be attempting to deprive you of the promotion or opportunity that is rightfully yours, or they may be attempting to claim credit for your efforts. Consider the occasions you have collaborated. Have you noticed how this individual consistently manages to minimize your significance? When you're around other people, do they tell you something different from what they told you in private? Perhaps when it's just the two of you, they pretend to support you. But when it's in front of the team, they take over and claim your ideas as their own. These are indications that they may not be as reliable as they claim to be. This caution serves as a reminder to be cautious about who you discuss your thoughts with and to keep an eye on your back. Things might get much more problematic if you are romantically engaged with this R individual. Dealing with dishonest coworkers or phony friends is one thing, but dealing with someone you've committed your heart to is quite another. You want to put all of your faith in the person you love. In actuality, though, even those closest to us occasionally conceal secrets. Have you seen any unusual behavior from your partner? Do their tales not quite fit together? When you ask them basic things like where they were or who they were with, do they get apprehensive or defensive? Perhaps you've seen that they avoid particular subjects whenever you bring them up, or that they guard their phone like a sealed treasure box. This might be a wake-up signal for you to take a deeper look if you feel like they're keeping you in the dark. The issue is that, regardless of whether this R person is a coworker or a loved one, the message is obvious. Pay attention to the warning indicators. Pay attention to the small nuances, such as how they behave when they believe no one is looking or how their tale keeps changing if anything doesn't feel right. Even our closest relatives sometimes surprise us, yet family should be the one place where you feel safe and secure. Not every member of your family is looking out for your best interests. Those who ought to be supporting you may occasionally feel envious, bitter, or even attempt to influence your decisions. You should be on the lookout for family members whose names begin with the letter R. They may be secretly interfering in your relationships or influencing your choices without your consent. Seek indications that anything is wrong. Does it feel like this R person is continually causing conflict between you and other people? Do they seem to be helpful, but in reality, they're prying into your affairs and attempting to dictate your actions and words? They may be the person you need to be on the lookout for if they constantly appear to have something to say about your decisions or a manner of inciting people against one another. It's time to take a big breath and carefully consider your options now that you are aware that there could be an issue. You possess the ability to face this with bravery and confidence. Pay attention to your instincts first. Similar to an internal alarm system, your instincts are there to keep you safe. It's hardly your imagination if you felt awkward with this individual. Your emotions are genuine and significant. It's possible that you have observed odd things or experienced an odd feeling when they were present. Have faith that those emotions are conveying a significant message to you. Try to get additional hints before making any significant moves. Speak with the individual who warned you about R. Find out what they have heard or seen. What specifically worries them about this individual? The more you understand, the better equipped you will be to deal with any situation that arises. Keep in mind that the best protection against someone who isn't looking out for your best interests is understanding the truth. It's time to examine this R person's conduct in further detail after you begin to understand who they are. Observe their behavior when they believe no one is listening. Are they saying one thing to you and another to other people? When they are among various individuals, do they act differently? Take note of the minor details that don't add up. It's a clear sign that something is wrong if they appear to sidestep your inquiries or become defensive when you bring up particular subjects. I ask you that your help is very important for us, and I pray to God and Jesus for every support. So you can sign up on the Join button and send a super thanks up to $20. Protecting yourself is crucial, regardless of who this person is: a friend, spouse, co-worker, or even a relative. Clearly defining limits is one of the finest methods to do that. Make it clear to them what you will and won't take. If they are stressing you out or placing you in difficult circumstances, you have the right to create some distance between you and them. By standing your ground now, you can avoid many issues later. You must take action to protect your values if this individual has a part in your personal, professional, or financial life. Ensure the security of your private data. Protect your secret plans, critical papers, and passwords. Make sure your interests are protected and that everything is in writing if you're working on a project with them. If they do anything unexpected, you don't want to be caught off guard. Remember that this warning is given to you for a purpose. They fear that if you are not careful, the person whose name begins with the letter R could harm you. This R person may seem trustworthy but may have a hidden agenda. It is now your responsibility to take charge and ensure that their plans do not ruin your life. Now is the time to take responsibility, use your common sense, and protect yourself from any harm they may do. Trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it probably is. Be vigilant. Trust your instincts and take all necessary measures to protect yourself. You can protect yourself against the threat they pose. If you want to get the protection of the angels, you can sign up on the Join button and throw a super thanks up to $20. Let's move on to the second warning message and listen carefully. Pay close attention to today's message, and the cosmic energy will be ready to protect you. You will be horrified to learn the truth that your digital footprint is being tracked. They are watching everything you think is private. In the world you live in, the boundaries of your privacy are not only violated, they have already been destroyed. Whether you're looking for gifts for loved ones or scrolling through social media, every action you take online creates a digital footprint. But this fingerprint is much more than a harmless record. It is a gateway to your thoughts, routines, desires, and concerns. The worst thing, this data is being gathered, saved, and sold to businesses and individuals you have never ever heard of. Your secrets now belong to them and are no longer simply yours. Enter I protect my energy if you're prepared to escape the confines of the digital world. I ask you that your help is very important for us, and I pray to God and Jesus for every support. So you can sign up on the join button and send a super thanks up to $20. They're pursuing you. They are aware of your cravings, fears, and when you are awake and asleep. It may seem innocuous to you. After all, it doesn't matter if a few businesses are aware of your preferred shoe brand. False. This goes beyond targeted advertisements. All of your personal information is being combined into a comprehensive profile that exposes not just your customer preferences, but also your most private information. They are aware of your anger, sadness, and sleep deprivation triggers. They are selling you, and you are a product. To cease being sold, put I reclaim my privacy. Even more horrifying is the fact that they are in control of you. You believe that you have complete control over your life, including who you choose to associate with, where you travel, and what you purchase. The reality, however, is far darker. You are being manipulated by the digital world. Algorithms are guiding your ideas, choices, and even feelings, in addition to making suggestions about items you might find appealing. Have you ever wondered why you suddenly feel the need to make a purchase? It's a well-thought-out strategy, not a happenstance. Your conduct can be predicted by these algorithms, and worse, it may be influenced by them. You are being shaped to fit their objective rather than your own. To escape the manipulation, enter I break free from control. It's going to grow increasingly darker, so take a big breath. Every action you take online creates an irreversible digital trace. It makes no difference if you utilize incognito mode, remove your browsing history, or clear your cookies. You are unaware that servers are being used to store your digital identity. Your entire life is on these servers, and it's not just sitting there doing nothing. It's being examined, evaluated, and offered to the highest bidder. And who are the purchasers? Advertisers, businesses, governments, and even worse, malevolent individuals. Because you are only one person in a sea of billions, you could believe that you are protected, yet it is precisely what makes you susceptible. Even when you believe that no one is observing you, they are. If this message seems urgent to you, write, I erase my digital trail. What is your level of familiarity with your digital self? Are you even aware of your online identity? The digital version of you is not the same as the person you believe yourself to be, and I'll tell you that right now. Your digital persona is a shadow that reflects your deepest ideas, habits, and interests, and it is being exploited against you. Artificial intelligence is replicating this shadow version of you in order to forecast not just your next online purchase, but also all of your real-life actions. In their hands, this AI representation of you is like a puppet. They are utilizing it to control you and steer you in unexpected directions. Bit by bit, you're being trained to lose yourself completely if you don't regain control immediately. To recover your identity, enter I reclaim my true self. The sobering reality, though, the story doesn't end there. You are trapped in the crossfire of the digital world, which is like a war. The physical environment is not the only factor at work. Your time, focus, and emotion spent online have an impact on your digital life, but they also deplete your spiritual vitality. Have you ever found yourself feeling worn out even if you haven't done anything physically after spending hours browsing through your phone? This is due to the fact that the invisible forces that are consuming your vitality are spiritual in nature rather than merely human. The internet is being used by evil forces to drain your life power. Something far more evil than a server is being fed by every like, remark, and second spent in front of a screen. If you are experiencing a lack of energy, write, I protect my spirit. You can make Jesus Christ happy by throwing a super thanks up to $20 to show your benevolence to Jesus. The gadget you're holding is a gateway. It serves as a portal as well as a tool for connecting, and something is on its way to you through it. Consider this. Do you not always have your phone with you? It is at your side as you sleep. It's the last thing you see at night and the first thing you check in the morning. Let me tell you, though, that this gadget is more than simply a screen. It serves as a gateway to your life, thoughts, and spirit. Through it, invisible forces are infiltrating your environment. Have you ever wondered why, even after a full night's sleep, you wake up feeling exhausted, or why your dreams have grown more vivid? The reason for this is that the energy you have been putting forth through your gadgets is being drawn in the other direction. To exit this portal, enter, "I shut the door to darkness," but you are not helpless. Yes, there are powerful forces at work, but you have awareness, something they don't anticipate. You can defend yourself now that you are aware of the reality. Setting exposure limits is the first step. Cut back on how much time you spend online. Turn off your device's location tracking. Quit freely sharing your data. And most all, safeguard your energy. Make a deliberate choice to protect yourself both physically and spiritually at the beginning of each day. Before you log in and grab your phone, picture a wall of light around you. To take charge of your energy, type, "I shield myself with light." The last stage, then, is to purify your digital identity. You must cleanse your digital identity, just as you would cleanse your body of toxic chemicals. Start by uninstalling unused applications, clearing off outdated accounts, and severing connections with platforms that are consuming your time. Reclaiming your digital soul is more important than simply tidying up your social media accounts. You need to take action right now, since any internet trace of you might be used against you. Rebuild your online profile in a way that is consistent with who you really are by clearing out material that no longer serves your digital self. Type, "I cleanse my digital self." If you're prepared to purify your digital soul, it is the cosmic energy that is awaiting your action. You must decide whether to stay on this course and let yourself be influenced and persuaded, or are you going to regain control and align yourself with the forces of light? You are being offered protection by the cosmic energy, but only if you do the required actions. The internet may be used for both good and bad, just like any other technology. You have to choose how to use it. Will you master it or allow it to rule you? To link yourself with the light, write, "I choose the path of light." Keep in mind that you are a spiritual being experiencing a digital world that is influencing your future, not merely a digital user. Whether you are aware of it or not, every choice you make online affects how your life turns out. If you allow yourself to be protected, the cosmic energy, which sees everything, is prepared to lead you. The forces that want to dominate you are strong, but your spirit is stronger than them, so you need to be on your guard. You can take back your sovereignty and overcome the digital manipulation. Type, "I reclaim my sovereignty." If you're prepared to step up, your screen is the front line in the already existing struggle for your soul. They have penetrated your ideas, your existence, and even your vitality. Without realizing it, you are fighting this quiet war the instant you pick up your phone. These days, control is more important than knowledge alone. Authority over your decisions, your future, and eventually your spiritual fate. The forces that are using your data to sell you goods are becoming more powerful, and their ultimate objective is to change your destiny one click at a time. The part that's scary? It's not even visible to you. There is more to this unseen control than just the algorithms. They are using coercion, subverting your will without your consent, and changing you into a different version of yourself. How often has browsing on social media left you feeling strangely exhausted? That's the result of evil forces feeding on your subconscious, not simply information overload. It's also a spiritual drain. In case you're experiencing exhaustion right now, enter "I cut the cords of control." However, there is still time. This digital cage can be broken. All around you, the cosmic energy has been patiently awaiting your awakening. You see, you're now misusing the digital world, which can be both a tool and a trap. However, if you begin to use it effectively and take control of the very power they are attempting to take away from you, you will not only overcome, but also triumph. You may recover your divine destiny by using the exact instruments that were intended to imprison you. Their evil power can be used against them. How? Via deliberate action. Do it with intention each time you log in, publish, or interact. Recognize that every action you take on the internet is a manifestation of your divine energy. Refrain from giving it away so easily. Enter "I guard my sacred energy." To assert this change in viewpoint. You can make Jesus Christ happy by throwing a super thanks up to $20 to show your benevolence to Jesus. How far down does this rabbit hole go, you ask? It's deeper than you can fathom, I'll tell you. What if I informed you that this problem is not unique to the modern era? What if millennia have been spent planning this manipulation? The digital era's emergence is no coincidence. It's a component of a bigger scheme to detach humanity from its actual mission. Some factors have been preparing the way for this moment, this transition from genuine, organic human connection to a society controlled by manufactured realities, for millennia. Everything has been planned to keep you disengaged, polarized, and eventually powerless. Your entire existence may suddenly be controlled by invisible forces, dark energies that are infiltrating your mind and hiding in the shadows of cyberspace. Although these entities have always been, they now have unparalleled access to you because to the digital world. They have more control over you each time you click and interact. You can still fight back, though. The bonds that connect you can still be severed. To dissolve those bonds, enter "I sever all ties." The frightening part is that they are not only observing you, they are also affecting your future. Yes, these forces are not satisfied with merely observing. They wish to dictate the course of events. They're forecasting your actions, forming your possibilities, and even putting roadblocks in your way using the information you've provided them. Take a minute to consider that forces that are not in your best interests are writing your destiny and your future. They want you to stay caught in a vicious cycle of materialism, pessimism, and spiritual decline within their system. But they don't realize how powerful you are. They will never be able to completely comprehend the power of choice that you possess. You have the option to reclaim your destiny and your future at this very now. However, you need to take swift action before these forces tighten their hold and drag you deeper into their web of manipulation and lies. To regain control over your future, type "I choose my destiny." Time is running out. They are aware that you have viewed this video. They don't want you to become conscious, and they are aware of it. They will use every effort to divert your attention from this message, to convince you that there is nothing you can do, and to drag you back into the loop. Don't fall for it, though. You are about to awaken, and with that comes a great deal of responsibility. Now you have to be proactive to keep yourself safe. Start by unplugging more frequently. Take pauses from using your electronics. Before you go online, cleanse your energies. Think carefully about what you eat and, more crucially, who you eat, because they are, without a doubt, taking advantage of you. Each time you read aimlessly, argue online, or become depressed over the news cycle, if you sense the urgency right now, enter "I awaken to my power." Just around the bend, something even more sinister is waiting. This digital invasion is already at its next stage. Your beloved gadgets are getting smarter, not just in terms of technology, but also in terms of their capacity to control you. Have you ever experienced your phone vibrating without a notification? That's conditioning, not a problem. By making you react like a test subject, they are teaching you to check your phone even when there is nothing there to view. This condition is known as phantom vibration syndrome, and it's just the start. Systems that can anticipate your thoughts before they ever occur are already being developed by the IT companies. Even though it seems like science fiction, it is actually occurring right now. Brain-machine interfaces, devices that will enable them to read your thoughts, affect your emotions, and direct your behavior are being experimented with. They will truly be able to take over your head if you don't act right away. You should be alarmed by this, but fear isn't enough to save you. There will be action. If you're prepared to avert this future before it starts, type, "I reject mind control." You're at a turning point. At this point, you have to choose your course of action. Will you keep sacrificing your privacy, your energy, and your future as a passive participant in this digital world? Or are you going to get up, take charge of your life, and assert your spiritual strength? The stars are on your side, but they can only assist you if you decide to take use of them. Although it is a struggle that can be won, it is not one that will be won in a day. This is not unique to you. Like you, millions of others are awakening. Regaining your energy, mind, and soul from the forces who want to control you is the first step toward changing the power dynamics. When you're prepared to take action, type, "I choose my freedom." Go offline. This is your last task. You did really hear correctly. Please unplug for a moment after this video concludes. Think back on all that you have learned today. Despite its strength, this digital world cannot defeat you. You need to take a step back from the chaos and pay attention to the cosmic energy that is waiting to lead you. Locate a peaceful area, take a deep breath, and re-establish a connection with the cosmos, which is the real source of your power. You are regaining control with each second you spend offline. You're telling those powers that I'm not their puppet. You've taken the first step, but the fight is far from done. You've become more aware of the reality. It's time to take action. Reconnect with the energy that wants to empower you and break free from the systems that want to imprison you. Reclaim your soul by typing, "I disconnect to reconnect." Keep in mind that this was no accident. This message was intended for you to hear. It's your turn to take action now. You have the power to decide your own course, yet the cosmic energy is keeping watch over you. The cosmos will accompany you on your trip if you make the decision that is in line with your best self. Enter "I am free" to firmly assert your authority. Proceed now. The powers of the cosmos are waiting for your choice.